Okay, we're here. We are live and we are people are seeing this. We're streaming. We have people jumping in and tuning in. Tom, Jerry, and Dave are with us right now. I'm going to put the chat up so you guys should be able to see the chats.
Yeah.
And we're waiting for Roger and Mark.
But we're going to carry on without them. So all these people who kind of watch Jeff streams, know me and him do this Friday night show, but they don't get to see, you guys that much. And I have a few questions here I've been fielding over the last 4 days, but probably the first thing to ask, I'll start with, I guess I'll start with you, Jerry. Like, what's the pandemic meant to you, man? Like musically, and how are you hanging? And then Dave, same question.
Well, I'm hanging really good, actually. We're hanging tough here, and we hardly ever go out. We go out for groceries, supplies, that sort of thing, but we really don't go out too much. I'm doing a little bit of teaching. Most of my students are either coming over here. I only really have 4 in-person students, and everybody else is online, which is really, really great. So I've been doing a bit of teaching and loving that. And I made the best of the COVID thing by, just keeping these guitars in my hands all day, every day, practically. Transcribing music, learning new music. I completed a Christmas CD that just came out just the week before Christmas, in 2020. And I did a bunch of EPs. We're talking about EPs earlier. Did a bunch of EPs for the same record label that that Donnie works with. Donnie Merrow, our good buddy Donnie Merrow, works with, Evo Sound, and mostly just a bunch of super middle songs. And so I've just been busy, just keeping myself busy. And when I'm not doing that, I'm hanging with Kathy and Ping Ping. We just have family time together. So, and Kathy's been homeschooling Ping Ping, and Ping Ping's learning so much more, not being in school, learning from Kathy instead. So it's been a good thing. We're making the best of it. I really miss all you guys. I think about you guys all the time. I think about us playing together. I'm learning so much more. Not being in school, learning. I'm here. Am I hearing an echo now?
Sorry, my. Keep going.
Okay, well, I was just saying that I really miss you guys. It was just last night, actually. I had a dream we were all hanging out on the bus, and it was after a gig. It was one of those times we're all,
Sounds like a nightmare.
No, it was good, man. It was, all those times we get on the bus and everybody's just jacked up, from a great show, and there's food on the bus and everybody's in a great mood, and the bus is just about to pull out. It was one of those moments, So, and then I've also had some really kind of quirky dreams that I'm, and I'm back in my freelance days, from 20 years ago, and I'm trying to find the stage. I'm trying to load in and that kind of stuff. And you're not in this building. You're 3 buildings away. It was like, oh man, I got 5 minutes to load in and park my car. It's one of those kind of now that's a nightmare. I wake up and it's like, God, that's over with.
I've actually had a dream like that.
Did you recently?
Yeah. Well, in the last few months.
Yeah.
Hey Dave, same question. Now I know you're a guy not to be idle. Knowing you for 20 years at least now, you never are idle. So what's going on?
Well, I kind of like, it's kind of like Jerry. I kind of been making the most of my time. I'm doing lots of teaching. I have a lot of students from like everywhere, kind of all over the world. The drummers love to do lessons, and so. I've been getting together, doing a lot of master classes and clinics, that kind of stuff. Been working on a recording project with Marc and Ray Obiedo and Michael Spiro, some guys that and we kind of recorded some stuff a while back and then didn't do anything with it because we were all so busy. But now we have the time to do it.
I working on. Wasn't there a problem with that recording though, that it didn't have any saxophone?
Well, yeah, it's saxophone challenge, saxophone light right now, but we'll see what happens. But we'll keep it together. It's pretty cool. It's a really, really fun project, and those guys are so great. And then I've been working on my books. I have book projects going on with Hudson Music, and like my studio here is a little video production. So I've been shooting videos in here that's going to go along with the book, and a lot of exercise, cycling, all that stuff, hanging out with my family, my boys going to school, online, playing basketball every day. Maria's working at home and here, and at her office. So it's just good. I don't go anyplace, I just kind of eat, sleep, repeat.
Yeah. Repeat.
Oh, I think that's a bass player just showed up.
Wow, man.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy S.
Yeah, you should the phone's working.
Yeah, my phone works.
Yeah. So now you can walk around and give everybody a tour of your house and where you live and what's going on.
But I look like hell. I don't like it.
You have COVID hair.
I know. I do. Don't start, because Dave will get right into that hole.
Well, it reminds me, because I just saw that old Star Trek episode, The Trouble with Tribbles, and kind of reminds me of your hair.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Don't curse, man, because everybody's listening. So.
I know. I just realized that. Wait, I got to find a good place for this to be.
Okay.
Oh, that's not good.
So, Dave, the new book, what more and different things is this new book offering? Because I'm pretty familiar with 3 of your books.
Yeah.
So how is this one going to be a little bit different?
Let me just
if it works, this will work.
Let me show you.
No, it's okay. I'll just use this.
So I have these
Glass.
I have these practice notebooks that I've been keeping for years, and so I write my practice sessions down. I kind of document them, like similar to like a journal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not like, oh, I feel this way this day. I mean, I'm not venting, my frustration or anything. Literally, I'm writing down things that I work on during the practice sessions, literally. And so the book is going to be called DG's Notebook. And it is material and stuff, that I put together from my practice sessions, similar to what I did with Modern Drummer magazine articles that I wrote for many years. And it's going to be kind of cool. I'm going to, something that I'm going to be adding on to, as time goes on, kind of a fluid sort of a deal, and it's pretty cool. It's a cool idea.
Very cool.
Well, here's a question from for all of you, from Tom Narciso, and I want you all to answer this question. Do you practice, and for Dave, I think I already know the answer to this, do you practice in a structured, systematic way? And if so, what does it consist of? Or if you don't practice in a structured, systematic way, what's a practice session like for you? How does it differ from day to day? You answer, yeah, Dave answer first, and then Jerry.
Well, it depends. I have like certain warm-up things that I do every day that kind of, keep me in shape, like, sort of calisthenic exercises. And a lot of it is creating, beats and, ideas for my instrument and developing those, little snippets of stuff. I practice with music, that I like. Can't be in any bands right now, so I miss that. I mean, I really miss everybody terribly, I mean, it's been kind of a real adjustment, honestly, because, when we stopped and I kind of looked back on what had just happened in the 20 years previous, stopping, I'm going, man, how did we have the energy to do that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you look back going, holy shit, I did this, you know? But I really miss it. I miss everybody. And so, you know, you just kind of have to do what's in front of you. And for me, it's been teaching, writing books, practicing all the time. I practice every day. You know, sometimes it's structured, sometimes it's unstructured. It's just always in touch with the instrument.
Jerry, same question.
I'm the same. I pretty much start the same, well, nearly the same time of day. My routine is I wake up and the first thing I do is I exercise for 30 minutes and then shower, then eat, and then I'm sitting in this chair right here and I'm practicing.
It's pretty structured.
Just music, and it just depends. Like, well, what students coming today, or what do I have to do today? And I'll prepare, you know, some kind of lesson plan for a student or students. Or I've been meaning to. What's been really nice, I've been able to play catch up with a lot of transcribing I've been wanting to do for so long, you know, because we're always working, you know, and I've had time to do it, and I've written nearly enough to write a book myself, but you know, it's not really structured form right now. I'd have to really take a look at it pretty deeply to do that. But I've just been doing different things here and there, you know, musically for my students and things like that, and it's been really good for me, man. I've been it's helped my playing a lot too, because I've got some pretty advanced students right now. So I keep telling myself, just stay a page ahead of everyone else and you'll be fine. But that's always been me. I mean, I've been teaching for 40 years now, so it's always been like, just make sure you stay a page ahead of everyone else, and if you can't, just say you can't, you know. You know, because I can recall a great guitar player coming to my studio years ago. I was teaching in a music store, and in fact, I was playing a gig on a Friday night in San Mateo, Carlos and Charlie's, and there was this guy sitting right in front. You know, he just like watching me, like, you know, like a hawk. And he comes up to me on a break and he goes, "Do you teach?" I said, "Yeah, I teach." And he goes, "Well, I want to take lessons." I said, "Great. How about tomorrow?" Because I taught on Saturday mornings and Saturday afternoons. He goes, "Yeah, I could do that. Let's do it." So he ended up being my first student, the next day, the very next day. And we're sitting there playing, and I was going, "Dude, you're a great guitar player." I said, "You should be studying with the guy I'm taking lessons from." And at the time, I was taking lessons from Tuck Andrews. And sure enough, he did. And he studied with Tuck for quite a while. And in fact, he's the guitar player in that band, Deja Vu, with that Brian Withy comes in. They still tribute band,
Yeah.
Ron Jameson, great guitar player. Yeah. But he used to just drop by my house all the time, man. He'd bring his guitar and he goes, "Hey, you want to jam?" And it was like, yeah. So we just exchanged a lot of great ideas. So we had this really nice, you know, guitar buddy thing for many years, actually. So, yeah.
Hey, I got to ask this question. It's kind of another subject, but have any of you guys, all three of you, ever heard of a band called Mother's Finest?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I just got turned on to them. I just kind of went like, whoa.
I think they were from Atlanta.
Yeah, they're from Georgia somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, but they go way back. I mean, their first album's from the 70s.
Yeah.
I just can't believe that band escaped me till now.
Yeah.
We might have even played with them at one point, played a gig or two with them.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty good. I know Jeff's probably got some questions. And Jeff, you know, our monitoring engineer.
Roger on, actually. Roger looks like he's trying to sign in.
Oh, cool.
Well, it's about frigging time.
Yeah, really. Really, man.
You know, Aging Wine.
You know, one thing that I was thinking, and Dave, you mentioned this about how you miss being with the guys, and you as a band and as a group, you are such a family, and the way you operate and do your gigs and travel, that there's so much camaraderie between you outside of just playing the music, that I would feel, to me, it seems like you guys would really miss that, because it's such a family environment, you know. So you've got your family at home, but you know,
it sucks.
Yeah, that sucks.
I mean, not only for me, I kind of look at it like, you know, yes, we're bandmates, but I've learned from these guys. I mean, they're my teachers in a lot of ways. They're my really, really great friends, closer than than my family in some ways, extended family, that is. And
Yeah.
so, it's a great thing we have,
Yeah, I mean, it's just nuts because there's so many great things that I think we all remember from being on the road that is about stuff that did not happen on the bandstand. Just stupid stuff on the bus or backstage or on a day off. Like, like one thing I'll never forget with you, Dave, is spending the whole day with you in Rome from like early in the morning to like late in the evening. And we must have walked, you had me walk like everywhere. We went like all over Rome.
Yes, sir.
I mean, if anybody can see the whole city in one day, I think we came pretty close. Things like that I'll never forget.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom, you remember that time we did that in London?
Yes.
We walked from it was like 10 in the morning until like midnight, and I think, I know that I did. I thought you did as well, but I remember we were kind of like on the hunt for Doc Martens, because they were everywhere.
Didn't you buy new shoes and put them on, and then they weren't broken in, so you got a little blister on the back of your heel?
I limped towards my room,
Yeah, because they're really comfy. They're really comfy, except the back, right on the back, wasn't broken in, so it was rubbing on the back of his Achilles heel, and it just kind of created a blister. Because that went away after the shoes broke in, but
I felt like we saw the entire city. I mean, we just went everywhere, man. We were in the tube, we were in cabs for a second, and buses, and double-decker bus, and just it seemed like we hit every neighborhood.
Yeah, I miss playing for those audiences and not just the ones in Europe, but even the cities in America that are just so fun to go to. It's like I never thought. I remember, like, for me, the first time we played in Pittsburgh, and I looked at the city and go like, "Wow, I didn't know Pittsburgh was so pretty. It's really pretty." I mean, you think of the Steel City and the old reputation of steel mills, and you don't think of the Three Rivers and the hills, and
I like all the
quite scenic.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
So guys, Roger and Mark are still having some issues. So they're
yes, we know about their issues, but why aren't they logging on?
Yeah, where are they?
They have issues.
So
let's talk about Rogers and Mark's issues while they're not here.
This is what's really interesting on my screen. You three have green bars, like you've got a really strong signal. Mm-hmm. I don't have a strong signal, and whenever those two guys log in, they don't have a strong signal. But you three have the best. So no matter what, you three will be able to stay on the air.
Roger's got good internet at his house.
He does.
Just up there.
What's going on there?
Yeah, I mean, it was. Yeah. Mark, Mark was working fine with his phone on cellular data.
His hair, he was having bad hair, so he decided to maybe.
So Jeff, what I want to know, Jeff and Tom, I got a question for you. So is this like interview number one? You guys going to keep this going again? Because it sounds like your fans want you guys to get back at this.
And look who's joined us.
Look at him. I'm gonna put my glasses back on.
Well,
so you'll see him up close.
You do seem to really enjoy Tom and I's banter, and whoever gets on and does banter with us. And sometimes it drags on till the wee hours of the morning, and after we finish like 2 hours and a half, Tom will call me, and then we'll talk for another 3 or 4 hours. As a matter of fact, last Friday at 3 a.m, I said, "Tom,
you gotta go to bed."
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, that was like a 7-hour hang or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Jeff was one of my first road mates ever. I mean, I think people who've seen us do this before, a lot of you know that story. But yeah, we were the first 2 road gigs I had. Yeah, Jeff and I were roommates. So
is that Wrigley brother?
Circus Vargas.
Circus.
Yeah.
That's
so,
real.
Sitmar Cruises. Sitmar.
And in Sitmar, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So Mark, you got vocals? Can we hear you?
I don't know. Can you?
Okay. So it's Mark, you missed some of these questions.
Well,
So what's been going on during the pandemic? What have you been doing?
well, trying to get online for Christ's sakes.
Have you
No,
have you been spending a lot of time with your hair?
oh, Jesus Christ. Hey, listen, if you want to go to a COVID-covered hair salon, be my guest.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm kind of waiting till I feel it's safe. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's a good idea.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
You are really in a good mood. I can see that.
Yeah, really.
So what's been going on? You've been
Well,
practicing, you've been playing tennis, you've been
yeah,
walking. What are you doing? Eating sushi?
all of that. Actually, all of that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
practice every day. I did a little jam session this morning. I did one last Wednesday. David and Mike Spyro and myself and Ray Oviedo, we've been working on a CD, and so I spent a couple of days this week with Mike Spyro trying to do that, and I wrote some music for that, and then I'm trying to do my own CD, so I'm working on that as well.
Cool.
Do you practice in a structured, systematic way, or do you just kind of pick up
Well,
your acts and see where it takes you every day?
well, I do I do 1 hour nonstop with all these different little exercises that I've done for many years. It's like the same thing every time I do it. So it's 1 hour, and then actually I just recently I got on my computer that I couldn't get online with. I got that Real Pro thing, so you could just play along with a bunch of standards, you know. So I just improvise and solo and play along with a bunch of different tunes that I haven't played in a long time. So that's what I do usually after the 1 hour of structured practicing.
Do you have the iReal app, Mark?
Yeah, the app,
Yeah,
the app,
that's a great app. I love that
and
app.
you can play it, over your speakers, and you could change the key, you could change the tempo, and it's
I
pretty
love
cool.
I
I
love
like
that.
it.
I use
Yeah,
it on the road too. I use it on the road in my hotel room, but I
yeah.
use it here at home on my desktop computer, the computer I'm using right now. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
that's
Yeah.
good.
do you guys feel like taking some questions and phone calls?
Yeah, phone calls. Wow, let's do that.
Wow, man.
We do.
I was just looking at the feed here to see if there's any questions here and seeing all the folks that are on board here.
Yeah, this is
And
big time. We take phone calls here,
That's great.
you're putting up the phone.
Let me see. And I'm going
I'm
to.
looking for see if there's a question here. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Meanwhile, I'd like
Hey,
to say hi to everybody out there. I saw you, Fred Ross. How you doing, man? Stefan Kuhn. Hey. All right.
Stefan's here. Oh, I see Steph. Yeah, I see Stefan here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we
Nice.
have I see about 69 people online right now, 71 on that stream. So that's a fair amount.
It's a party.
Yeah.
It's definitely a good party.
It's a virtual party.
Are you guys looking forward to playing in
Hi.
even just even doing something at Rogers Winery? Just get together and just play. And you've done a couple of those things, right? Some recordings or something there.
I want to do one.
Well,
I need to play with people, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I can practice and stuff, but and lately I've actually been playing a lot. I do a lot. My practicing has been sporadic. Unlike these three gentlemen that you've just heard from, I go in spurts. And I also, as everyone knows, I play as much golf as I can seem to fit in and afford at the same time and be reasonable about it. But lately, after I do some calisthenics for a half hour, I've really just been liking putting on music that I haven't heard and just even stuff that's hard and just playing along with it by ear and figuring out what the changes are and then who's soloing or, I'll start stealing guys' licks, but I'll just solo over the guy who's soloing, and with my earphones on. And that's kind of been what my practice has been because I want to feel like I'm playing with other musicians. And that helps me a lot. And it also makes me excited. I get energy from it, like I'm not like I'm on stage, but that whole thing about when we play live, that's something we can't. It's hard to recreate that at home, but that's what's been working for me the best. So, like having discovered that band today. You guys know Polo Jones, the bass player? Polo Jones plays a Zucchero.
Oh.
Yeah, and Polo turned me on Facebook, turned me on to the Mother's Finest, and I just I felt stupid that I'd never heard of them before. Yeah, it was great. So tomorrow I'm going to jam it with a couple of their tunes.
Whoa! Hey guys!
What?
What?
Say what?
I heard Roger didn't like us anymore.
No, it's just Mark.
Hey, Raj. Hey, Raj, I've heard of Roger Smith time, but damn.
So I have a question. Why does the
I'll
rhythm
get the
section?
phone call, fellas.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Drum roll, Dave.
Hey, I'm watching you guys.
That sounds like Claudio.
It does. It does sound like
That's
Claudio.
Claudio.
Hello.
Claudio, get off the phone. We're on the air. Get
Yeah, how
off.
do you say that in
Hello.
Italian?
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. Yeah, now I can.
Oh,
Okay.
there he is.
Do you have a question for everybody?
I do. I know well, I know all the band members, but the question that I have mainly is after this pandemic, does this change your perspective on life, relationships, how you view the other band members now?
All the above.
Everything's more precious.
Yeah, only bike riding Italians.
Oh, we just lost him.
Does this change
Roger, you blew him off the air, man.
No, he's still here.
life, relationships, how you view the other band members now?
All the above.
Everything's
Oh, wait.
more precious.
I see what's going on. We lost him.
Oh.
Okay. Yes. So,
Claudio, if you can hear us, I'm sure he's still tuned in, I hope.
yeah.
But if you can hear us, no, it's, like Jerry said, all the above. Sure. I mean, it'll be a year in March, for God's sake. We haven't had a chance to do, life's gone on as it is. And what a journey.
I think he's calling back. Okay. Let's try this again.
All right.
Okay.
I got you. I'm not hanging up.
All right. You guys can hear him, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you have another question? Now I'm getting another phone call though. Claudio?
Are you really?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm here.
Maybe Maria's calling him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. So Claudio, you keep talking, and then the person calling in hopefully will call back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the other question is, a lot of people, musicians are on stage, and it's not as laborious as it may seem that they're just playing an instrument, but it's very taxing on the body. Is there a sense of timing that you feel that the band members feel that maybe they have to go back and regain? Because it's kind of like everything else, timing. It's like in pro football. It's not the same as when you practice as when you're actually doing it live, right? So is timing a factor?
Who wants to take that question? Come on, rhythm section. It's your night.
I'll start.
Dave, go ahead.
I mean, there's a whole rhythm that happens, between all of us when we're together that can only happen when we're together. So we're just going to have to, when we get together again, we'll have to revisit that.
I can hear you guys.
Okay.
Roger, what are you doing? Taking out the trash? Get back here.
Yeah, I am. You caught me in the middle.
What's going to happen? What's going to happen?
Down the line or what?
Yeah, well, actually, let them answer the question, and then there's another person trying to call in. So
Yeah, Claudia, this is Tom, and what's going to happen is
Sounds good. Thank you.
okay, thank you, Claudio.
we're going to rehearse. We're going to rehearse for 4 or 5 days when we get
At
back
least.
together.
At
Yeah.
least.
And we're going to play for like 6 hours a day, and we're going to run all the tunes and jam.
What
Yeah.
the-
Next.
Sorry, it's coming. They'll keep trying. They'll keep trying.
I mean, we rehearsed for our September 6th gig that we had. Oh, look at that. And I remember thinking when we first played our set,
Okay, fellas,
I felt
to announce. Excuse me, I'm sorry. We have a phone call, and I need to announce this guy because in case you guys want to jump off before he comes on and starts talking.
Uh-oh.
Let me tell you something. These guys like me. They're not like you, okay? Let's get that straight.
Hey, Fred, you make any mac and cheese lately? I need some of your mac and cheese.
Oh, I can't hear you now.
Oh, you can't hear.
Oh, is that
Fred
Fred
Ross.
Ross?
No.
It's Fred Ross.
That's Fred Ross.
What's up, Freddie?
Hey, Mark,
Fred.
Roger. Jerry, you're just like that guy next to you, so I'm not playing with you today.
Oh. Oh man.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Jerry. Jerry was in the middle of telling a good story, but Fred, I did have to answer the phone
Hey.
for you.
Don't let me stop you. I'm enjoying the show. You guys continue the good work. I just want to say, hey, fellas, good to see you guys, man. All right,
Hey.
I love you, Fred.
All right, thanks, Fred.
no problem. Take care,
Bye.
guys.
I don't know if you guys are aware of the banter that Fred has with me in particular, but Fred is one of the guys that I can really talk nice about when he's not around. The minute he comes around, I can't help but just give him shit.
Yeah.
I just cannot help it.
Well, it's kind of like our relationship. Especially.
It is.
Well,
It
you
is.
know, I think how many of you guys remember that? And this is not true anymore because I know everybody's listening, Fred's listening. But back in the '90s, Fred was still a really nice guy, but there was a side of Fred that made people call him Angry Fred.
Oh man.
So I don't know if you guys remember Angry Fred. I've worked with Angry Fred.
Ross?
Well, you wouldn't get angry at me. You just get angry at when things weren't right.
Oh. And what would he do when he'd get angry?
You get pretty angry. Sometimes you confront people. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. But he doesn't get angry like that anymore.
So, Jerry, do you want to finish up your thought, what you were saying, Jerry, before
Yeah.
I interrupted you?
Do you remember Jerry?
Yeah. No, all I was saying, you were talking about, how much you guys are going to need to rehearse and all that kind of stuff. And I was,
Only bike riding Italians.
I
Oh.
thought that we all did good, man. Our first rehearsal that we haven't played together since March. It was September now. And we got done playing our first set at our first rehearsal. And I was like, man, do we need to run this again? That felt pretty good to me. And we did run it again, but I was really impressed that everybody had, everybody came prepared. Everybody did their homework,
Yeah.
And it wasn't like we were just like learning these songs brand new again, everybody took the time to do their homework and prepare for the rehearsal, and things just went boom, I thought. So,
Yeah, rehearsals went good. It was kind of like everybody kind of was getting their sea legs back in the first day.
yeah.
And then after that, I mean, by the end of the first day, it was rolling pretty good. And then the next day felt
Yeah.
like nothing happened. It
Yeah,
felt-
we were kind of going, well, why are we doing the song again?
No time in between,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
I think this time though, speaking for myself, like I'm anxious to play again. However, I don't think we've ever been apart and not performed together this long that I can recall. And it's different. It's just different.
I'm taking another phone call, guys. Hello?
Are you there, Jeff?
Yes.
Toby.
Oh, this is Toby Simmons. Hello?
Hey, guys.
I know Toby.
Hey.
Hi, Toby.
Hello.
What?
Okay,
You there?
yes, I can accept the friend request.
Here.
She just sent me a friend.
Hey, Tom. Hey, Jeff. I just want to say, Jeff, I'm so happy that you're. Yeah, Toby. Just want to say, Jeff.
Hi, Toby.
Hi. I feel like I'm waving to you. It's weird. Is there too much echo?
I hear you. Yes, I can hear. Do you still have me
Oh,
on in the
okay.
background?
Okay. I just want to let you know, Jeff, I'm so happy to see you again. Congratulations. And and Tom, nice to meet you at Ventura County Fairgrounds. And I saw you all at NAMM last year, and it was fantastic.
Thank
So I
you.
just want to say I'm so happy to see you all right now, and I hope you guys can get back touring again soon.
Thank you. So do we.
I'm waving. Hey, Tom, I'm waving. I wish you could see me.
Thank you, Toby.
Thank you.
All right,
Okay.
thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
I have just wanted to say something. I have people that ask me often, like, "Hey, when you guys getting back to touring again? Are you getting back to touring anytime soon? When you get back to touring?" And my stock answers become, "I don't know. Ask COVID."
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Hey, so there's a couple questions I wrote down that were in my feed that I thought were pretty good questions, and these will be quick answers here. Lisa, I can never pronounce Lisa. Lisa was at our last gig in Napa. Peisich. I can never know how to pronounce his name. Peicich. So I'll start with Roger. What other bands, if you could just pick any other band to play that you've always wanted to play in besides GOP, what would it be?
Whew.
You can play any band you want. What do you want to play
Roger,
with?
we know the answer to that.
We do? What is it?
No, come on, you say it.
Wow.
Name
Maceo Parker.
Okay. Okay, Mark, what about you?
Well, actually, I did one tour with Pee Wee and Maceo Parker, which was, I think Fred Russ was on that too.
Yeah, he probably was.
And,
Was he
that
angry,
was-
Fred, Mark?
no, he was nice Fred then. This was after the 90s. I'm sorry. He was
Also,
nice.
and this also, whatever gig you're doing is going to be keeping you working. So, Dave, if you had to do another gig or want to do any other gig besides GOP, what would it be?
You want to know the honest truth?
Yeah,
I never wanted to be in any other bands.
Wow.
that's an okay answer.
I'm serious. I'm serious. I mean, when I wasn't in this, I missed being in it.
Yeah.
It's just such a part of me that I just never was interested in being other bands. I never liked the freelance life. I lived in LA for 12 years. I never liked the freelance thing. I always liked being in bands, and I just like what we do. It's kind of what I was built for.
Mm-hmm. Jerry?
Yeah, you know what? I might have to agree with Dave there. Because since I've joined Tower Power, I don't know. I've become more discerning. That's probably the best word to use for it. And yet I'm less tolerant of music, most music that I hear right now. I really don't have much stomach for stuff that's just kind of, pardon the expression, half-assed. So it really has something about being in Tower Power and just the level of musicianship that happens in Tower Power has made me just more discerning about the things that I listen to. It's harder for me. Like today I was hearing, Ping Ping was watching one of those animated kind of shows. I don't know what it was, but computer animated shows. And all the music was really super squeaky clean, light opera kind of singing. And I was in the kitchen. I was trying not to say anything, but I was just cringing. I was cringing, because it's just was so not my bag for one, So so it's just stuff like that. So I tend to want to just be in this band. Although I did see somebody reminded me of this TV show I did when I played in a band with Alex Lidgerwood and Dave Morgan and David Perper, Nate Ginsburg. This band was called City Section, and I was like, oh, it was a pretty good band. So it had great chemistry. But other than that band, it would be Tower for me as well. So, yeah.
Okay, one more quick round here, and this is a double question. I'll go back to Roger. You there, Roger? 2 questions, real quick. What CD do you have that you can listen to over and over again? And what inspired you to want to do music? What inspired you musically when you were a kid?
Let's see. The CD would be George Duke, Dookie Stick. Just about anything of George Duke's. I love her. So many keyboard players that I really, really admire, but George seems to just move it. He does it for me. Dookie Stick, when he did that, and a couple of other of his CDs, that's George. I think what inspired me was watching the late Jimmy McGriff play Hammond B3, which I called a church organ at that time because I didn't know any other name for it. And I think I was about 11 years old. That's what inspired me.
Mark, same questions.
Well, are you talking about like when we were younger or like right now?
No, when you were younger, what was it that they go like, oh, I have to go do this? And what CD do you have? Is there a CD in your collection that you just always can put on and listen to over and over and over again?
Well, back then there was a few things that, of course, that like all of us, but I would have to say I used to listen a lot to Donny Hathaway. Yeah. I mean, it just killed me over and over. And of course, a lot of Stevie Wonder too. I could listen to that for hours, Well, I used to love to listen to a lot Weather Report and Earth, Wind and Fire, Tower, of course.
Was there
so much music?
That quintessential moment when you were 10 or 11 or 12, or however, when you picked up the bass, that just went like, I have to do this?
Well, I picked up bass really late. I didn't start till I was 16. But of course, as some of you know, my brother was a great musician, and my dad, listened to music all the time. So I remember listening to Charlie Parker when I was very young, and that really that excited me because it had that energy, that rock energy that jazz had then, And yeah, I think that kind of, and then Charles Mingus, that kind of turned me on to bass first when I was still young.
Keep talking. I gotta plug in my computer. Keep talking. Dave, then hand the question to Dave.
Inspiration for me was like high school was the first time that I really played the drum set. And I'd been playing before that, but when I saw the drum set up close and was able to sit down and do it, that was kind of like a pretty big moment. I was 15, I think. And then my friends took me to see James Brown when I was 17. I think it was 17 or 18. And that was life-changing because I wanted that. Then I knew kind of what kind of music I wanted to play. But then I also liked, Count Basie, and I loved jazz and all that. So, kind of a multi-headed thing, as far as music to listen to, anything that's Miles Davis stuff. I love all that. I listen to it a lot still. There's a great album by Maceo Parker called Made by Maceo. And it's one of my favorite recordings ever. I listen to it all the time. I play to it here in my studio, just, to mess around. And it's just fabulous music, But it's hard. Richard Bona's got a lot of really great stuff. His Cuban band, the Mondecan Cubano, that's a killer band.
Rich, I haven't listened to him in a long time. I love Richard Bona.
Yeah,
I've heard him live several times.
I love that kind of stuff. Any Latin kind of music, timba, the Cuban stuff, it's great.
Jerry?
Yeah. Well, I'm fortunate. I came from a musical family. My dad and brother specifically, and my dad, being a tenor sax player, was listening to Coltrane and Stan Getz, but he was also really grooving on Junior Walker and the All Stars. So, and the Junior Walker was the stuff that really, really spoke to me as a kid. I mean, I liked all the other stuff too, but when I heard Junior Walker, it was like, whoa, his singing and his playing. And then I fast forward a few years, and I remember sitting at the dinner table. You guys might have heard me tell this story before, but sitting around the dinner table, my dad, it was 1970, and my dad goes, "Hey, there's this new band. They're called Tower of Power. You guys got to hear them, man. You guys got to hear these guys." It's like, "Oh yeah, why? What's so great about them?" He goes, "Well, they've got a really big fat horn section. They have a really tight rhythm section, and not only that, they sing really well." And I was like, and then I like within a week, I'm not kidding. He came home with East Bay Grease and said, put this on. You guys will dig this. And sure enough, man, when I first heard like Social Lubrication, that was a song I was like, yeah, horns, funky rhythm section, and great vocals on that track. Everybody's got their own way.
Do you guys know?
Yeah, man, who are these guys? So. Yeah, I was definitely inspired by Tower of Power early on, and Doug Willie Fulton's approach to the Memphis style, kind of approach to guitar playing in soul and R&B stuff, And what else was I going to say about that? And then Booker T and the MGs, I loved all that. Steve Cropper, loved listening to his stuff, and I have to second what Marc said about Stevie Wonder and Donny Hathaway, also really good. But the one last one I was going to throw in there was Sly and the Family Stone, because I just like it was just so unique, and everything they did, like thought.
So
let's go, man.
Let me just say, I wasn't going to make this about me because it's about you guys, but I always talk about this in horn section clinics, but you guys might not have ever heard it. For me, it was one quintessential moment when they wanted me to start playing baritone saxophone in the jazz band. And they played a bunch of stuff, but they played Script Cakes. And I was 16, I never heard Tower Power. And it was literally Script Cakes. And I must have I bought that record, and I had not heard of Tower Power yet. I was kind of ignorant. But I went out, and believe me, in the next 3 months, I was on a diet of Tower Power. But that was it. When I heard Script Cakes, I go like, yeah, I want to play saxophone. I want to play baritone saxophone. Definitely, that's what I want to do. And then as soon as I picked up the saxophone, that's what I wanted to do. Before that, I was a really good clarinet player, but it was just like, yeah, I like playing classical clarinet music, but I don't see doing it as a living. But as soon as I picked up saxophone and heard that, it was like, no, I want to do that.
Yeah.
It was a very, very definite moment for me.
So guys, there's a couple of things that people have been saying, and I want to just put an observation for myself in there. There is one thing for me over the years about Tower of Power is there is such a volume of music and library and catalog of music that is in and of itself all alone sort of sets it apart from all of the other kind of music that most people listen to. To me, it's just like, here is this band that just is a band that has a sound that nobody else has ever really been able to get and capture. And because of that, Dan McCrary says, when I was playing back in the day, every musician I knew wanted to be in Tower of Power. And it was that way when I was a kid too. And now, having said all of that, here's another question leading to this, because you guys are you're part of a book of music and a family that we've talked about, that you get along and you travel, and you've been it's a lifestyle, it's a way of life sort of for you guys. And playing, performing that's what the music needs and breathes. Then this leads to this question. And how are you dealing with the issue of having identified as a performing musician for your whole life, and now all of a sudden it's taken away because of COVID? That's a really deep question, and it sort of speaks to the music itself and you guys as performing that music, that is this body of work that nobody else can actually emulate or do. Does it make sense? Does it resonate with you at all?
Doesn't me.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know, the thing about it is, I'm sure in that line, not just us, but all of our fellow musician friends that aren't Tower of Power. Everybody that I know of, and I'm sure everybody else on this panel, everybody's literally freaking going nuts.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's either I wish I were a better golfer. I'd be swinging with Tommy, you know, but I doubt if I can even get but I have my winery that keeps me busy. However, that's one thing, but I miss this, my buddies. I miss being on stage. I do miss certain, even though I may have bitched about it all the time, like everybody else. We're on the road, 6 hours, this hotel sucks, blah, blah, blah. But we miss that. Now, you know, I miss that. I'll speak for myself. I miss that. Yep. You know, I miss hanging with my boys. I miss being able to play those songs every night. I miss the audience, the interaction with our fans. Yeah. So yeah, I think.
So we'd all be okay with that first hotel they gave us in Budapest.
Oh,
before they moved us.
Well, maybe we don't go back to work just yet.
I experienced that one. Yeah.
So you got see instant memory.
Yeah.
That was a bad one.
I heard about that. You guys told me about that one.
Why weren't you there? Was that Dave Matthews?
No, that was what?
Bobby Sparks.
Bobby Sparks, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Bobby Sparks. Bobby Sparks showed up actually the next day. Jack got us a better hotel.
Better hotels
in the center.
Way better.
That was the TOP uprising, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that hotel. I mean, there's bad hotels, and then there's that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was like Bob's Bug Roost.
Oh my God.
Oh. Marc, were you with us? No, it was Rocco was still alive, right?
Yeah, Rocco.
Rocco was there.
Yeah. My memory was the one in Helsinki where it was like an oven.
Oh yeah, that's pretty bad too.
Oh.
And that was mainly the temperature. If
Yeah.
it was that air conditioning, it would have been not so bad.
No, that's true.
Oh, that is
true.
That we were all of us had our windows open.
Yeah.
Trying to get air if you were on one side of the hotel.
Oh man.
Okay, but the other side.
It was so hot.
Yeah.
No heat wave in Helsinki with no air conditioning in the hotel.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I tell you, that train ride the next morning when we were all tired as heck and we had to get on a train at 6 a.m. to go to St. Petersburg.
Yeah.
That was kind of a memorable 2-hour train ride.
Especially with the James Bond.
The girls, yeah, they're coming
The James Bond immigration officer.
Yeah.
Ticket.
So
that was like every stop, wasn't it? Every stop there'd be a different James Bond girl.
I just remember
asking.
I remember Emilio saying when we got off the train, he goes like, "Why didn't we think to ask her to take a picture with the band?" What?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Da.
I think everybody got the picture.
Tom told me that story about the
immigration officer. For those of you who know, anyways, yeah, it's just.
I had to go plug this thing in. Tom,
yeah.
plug my computer in.
Yeah.
So
she was very striking.
Roger,
her uniform was very striking.
Wine over there?
Pardon me?
Are you drinking a lot of your Bump City wine over there?
No, not today. I'm actually drinking a lot of B.R. Cohen right now.
Oh, competitive.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Okay, let me plug this thing in before it goes dead on me.
Is that still around?
Roger's already got a room for his wine bottles.
Yeah.
Winery still around, Raj?
Say that again?
Is the B.R. Cohen winery still around?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Bruce doesn't run it. I think he sold it. But the winery's still there. The facility's still there.
Yeah. It's been a long time there.
Jeff Noose, let's talk about Incognito with Tower of Power.
Sure.
Mr. Garibaldi, TOP isn't TOP without you, brother. I'm just reading some of the comments.
That's very kind. Incognito, though, those cats, fabulous band. You know, from the UK, Bluey Monic, you know, Francis Hilton, those guys, you know, Francesco, the drummer.
Yeah.
I mean, what a bunch of cool guys that really play good, man. The last time we were with them was in Australia, and we did the Caloundra Music Festival. We were there 3 nights, I think we did, and it was really awesome. So we shared the stage with them each night. It was.
Don't forget Royal Albert Hall. Royal
Albert Hall.
There too. Yes, right. So that was last year or 2019. Yeah. So
but that
was cool. Guys, you know.
That festival in Australia, there were some other unknown bands there, like a woman from New Orleans named Erica Falls. She had a killer band.
Yeah.
That was a good festival. There was a lot of really good music on that thing.
Yeah.
No, I can't wait to get back. So I have 3 people. One's a real estate agent who's really successful, and then 2 friends of mine who are in the investment, kind of like Mike Howard, who's a friend of ours, but not Mike Howard, but one guy works for Charles Schwab. And he's a guy guys I play golf with. And I heard from all 3 of them separately that people are predicting in their businesses that when this COVID thing ends and we really get out of quarantine, that we're going to go through a 3 to 5 year period that will be reminiscent of the Roaring '20s, where people are just going to want to go out all the time to restaurants, to movies. They just can't wait to get out. And so he says, so you guys should be looking good for working when this does end. And I go like, well, that'll be good.
Yeah.
I mean, all I said was like, I hope that's true. I really hope that's true. It would be nice that we just not only start working, but really start working maybe some gigs we haven't been doing. There's more interest and going to places that we haven't done.
Really good stuff, man. If you remember, you know, that they had us going a lot of really cool places. And so, you know, it's going to have to wait.
Yeah, wait and see what happens. Yeah.
Well, how do you guys feel about the live performances that have been happening, but bands are just doing them on sound stages with video walls and stuff? And if you watch the late night, watch Jimmy Fallon or something, they'll have a band on, but they're performing from a remote stage.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
It's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Better than nothing.
That is, you know, it's true. I wish we were doing better than nothing, you know, and doing some of that. You know.
Well, let's can we do something at the winery, the 5 of us?
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's do it.
Anytime. You know that. You guys, it's just, we got to get Jerry on a plane.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
You know what I can do is I can live stream it.
You come up to Sacramento?
Sure.
Cool.
That's true. You have a van.
I have a van.
It's a 5-hour drive. That's true. You have the gear.
Jeff? Hey, Jeff.
You can stay here.
What?
You can stay here.
Oh, okay. So there's a phone call.
Uh-oh.
Saved.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, Jeff.
Who's calling?
This is Tina, but the boys know me as Teener.
Oh, Teener.
From the band.
Okay.
And all I wanted to do was say hi to them. And you can even say it for me. I don't need to I don't want to break their vibe there.
Well, they can hear you.
Yeah, we can.
Well,
hi, Tina.
They can talk to me anytime. I just wanted to say what a great pleasure it is to have just see and listen to all of them together. And I can't wait to see them again. I'd like to know what venue they'd like to play in the very first time they go out, if they had a choice.
Wow.
Good.
Fox Theater.
Fox Theater.
Fox Theater.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
That works.
Fox Theater.
It's unanimous.
Fox Theater?
Yeah.
The one in Oakland?
The one in
Redwood
Oakland
City?
or Redwood City.
Hey, by the way, we should probably say something about the of our DVD or 50th anniversary. We don't have to say the date, but because it hasn't been officially announced. But we should just at least tell them that it's coming out soon.
Tell them, Jerry.
Well, it's coming out soon. I don't want to be the one to, because there's no specific date. We were just told.
You already did. You already told everybody. Go ahead.
Well, you know more than me. Tell me.
I can't hear them.
Oh, you meeting? We talked
No.
time period that's going to come out.
That's okay. I'll watch it in the review.
Okay, so I'm going to go
Thank
ahead.
you.
Okay, bye.
That's all.
Bye-bye.
That's all I have to say about that.
I'll get in trouble for saying this, but I think you'll be able to get it by the beginning of March.
Yeah, see, I wasn't going to say that.
I'll get in trouble for that.
All
and
right.
if you can't get it by beginning of March, you can give me a hard time.
I think that's true.
It is.
I think that's true. That's
It's true.
from
Yeah.
talking to the higher ups,
Yeah.
the powers that be.
And there's a PBS thing coming because some of us have done little commercials for PBS, their pledge drives and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, look for it in the spring for sure. It's coming.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to actually be out the last week in February
That's what
on
I.
PBS.
Yeah, it's coming.
It's
So
scheduled.
look for it.
Yeah.
So, do you guys have any good band stories about Tom?
I need a drink.
Now would be a good chance to really get
Come on, bring it.
Well, there was one when Tommy took his shirt off and he rubbed it on Roger's head.
What?
Well, tell the story correctly.
Well, that's pretty much it. I mean,
No. So
Roger
I'm
Field-
changing.
Roger
And
Field is
I got my shirt off. And Dave. So here's what everybody needs to know.
He scared the piss
David,
out of him.
David Garibaldi is one of the biggest instigators that you could ever imagine. He seems all businesslike.
Yeah,
he's
all
very
business-like.
professional. I
Tell
can
him,
meet
tell
him.
him, tell him.
He's
Here we
super
go.
businesslike. But Dave's an instigator. So, and I'm like one of these guys. I'm pretty malleable, I'll kind of go with the flow. Anyway, so I took my shirt off. And Dave goes, Tom, go give Roger a hug right now. With your shirt off. Go hug him right now. So I came up to Roger. I came up to Roger to hug him, and Roger kind of screamed like a little girl.
You scared the piss out of him.
I did.
Was that on the bus?
I think it was backstage. It was on bus or backstage.
It was on the
It was on the bus.
It
was on the
did,
bus.
man.
It was, ah! There you go.
Oh,
Hey, Jeff, you would have had to have been there.
I would. Yes, I would have loved it.
Oh, stupid.
Well, either the scream or the. Well, I won't say what else was in my head. That's it. I'll leave it alone.
Yeah.
God. Oh,
So we lost Jerry.
No, I'm here.
Oh,
Jerry,
I can't see you. Oh, did you?
Pause the video?
Oh, I see.
There he is.
I didn't want to hear about the story about Tom with his shirt off.
Oh, you didn't want to hear?
I
We
love
all
it.
have our shirts off all the time. It's just I tried to hug Roger because Dave made me do it.
Well, Tom, since you're on that subject, we all
Oh,
know
God.
you,
Oh.
we all know you like to hug. Tell them what you like to do with our big friend,
Oh.
Mr. Garibaldi.
Oh, well, so well, Dave loves my hugs.
Oh,
I
he
miss
does.
I would hug him so hard right now. I would just get all up in him right now and squeeze him so tight to me and put his head on my shoulder and tell him how much I love him.
He referred to it as you
That's a little too
So,
sweet.
no, I'll tell you the story.
Oh, God.
So Dave's very good at ribbing. He's very good at ribbing people. It's really funny when he does it. And as Doc always says, when people read, he goes, "That's because they like you." Anyway, so Dave's ribbing me, and it was kind of, I don't know, it's still my first 10 years in the band, and I'm sitting here going
Right
like,
back, guys.
and I had
Sorry.
I had the bright idea. It's like, this guy just needs a hug. And so I gave him so I got out, I got in the little booth that he likes to sit in, and I gave him a big hug, and that kind of does take care of that, doesn't it, Dave?
Yes, it does.
But I give you hugs, Mark.
Yeah, but I don't mind it. He does mind it. And that's what makes it funny.
Dave, as long as I go like this, he doesn't mind it.
Oh, okay.
So, hey, can I
The bro hug.
I've heard about full frontals. Somebody just asked any word on new lead singer, and for now, Ray Green has he's been obliged to be our lead singer as long as Santana's not working. So
yeah, he'll be around for a little while. Yeah,
yeah, we're overjoyed about that. So we're very happy about that.
I'll say that Ray's probably got a hard decision to make at some point, because I think musically his heart's in one place, and career-wise his common sense is in another place. And that's the way it is. We're a blue-collar band, and Santana's a white-collar band. That's just the way it is. But I think musically, I'm pretty sure he'd rather be with us. So it's a hard decision for him. And and he knows we would love to have him back. So
we love him.
Yeah. Love him. Yeah. He's
great
just
performer, great bandmate, great person.
Great bandmate, great person. Yeah. I love him dearly.
I'm sorry. Roger keeps popping in and out. I think it's the wine.
Perhaps.
Is he muting his is he just killing his camera?
Well, both.
Yeah.
He disappeared.
Well, maybe he went to the bathroom. I kind of have to go to the bathroom.
Oh,
but
well, fellas, we've been on an hour and 20 minutes, but it's settled in. We got some good questions. Is there anything that you want to cover before we wrap it up?
I had one question here that I thought was kind of important, because it's a rhythm section night, and Roger should really get on for this. Is there anything unique to playing together in Tower Power that is or is not that you guys find is a unique thing musically or in any way? Something about playing in the Tower Power, the rhythm section, and creating those grooves and tunes and fabrics that's unique to this situation.
Well, Dave, I think you should be the first one to speak to that.
Well, no, I just think we have a really unique way that we put our music together. There's a lot of rhythm stuff going on, a lot of accuracy. It's just a level of playing that I'm not experienced with anybody else. I mean, it's just it's our own thing, which makes it great, Yeah.
For me, it's the interaction of the horns with the drums and the syncopation that and then what you guys do with that. But I just noticed that when we're playing horn parts, Dave's playing our horn parts with us most of the time, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. Especially when it's super rhythmic and syncopated.
I do as well, Tom.
You do too? Yeah.
Yeah. A little rhythmic hit, and I might even ghost some of the things that the horns do. For me, it really.
And don't be offended. I tend to focus on the drums when we're doing that stuff.
Oh no,
that's just kind of that's what I focus on, and the other stuff is a little more peripheral. But I actually hear everybody in my ears about evenly. Nobody's really louder than anybody else.
Yeah, I'm the same way. To me, the drums is the go-to thing for me.
Yeah.
And thing that I love about playing in the rhythm section is that just that constant bed. Typically when we're doing funk tunes, ballads is a different thing, of course. But when we're doing funk tunes, there's just like this bed of 16th notes that's always implied, and I love being a part of that. And before I was in the band, just listening to the music, it used to always amaze me how much was going on, and I used to always say to myself, like, wow. There's so much going on. How come nobody's stepping on each other? It all seems to really work. And that's really hats off to David and Rocco, you know, because that's just the way they orchestrated that thing. It was such a natural thing for them to do together, and to be a part of that now is it's amazing. So that's what I really love about it. That like I said, the bed of 16th note that's always implied, and the James Brown background, of course. The influence with James Brown, of course. So.
Mark?
What about you, Mark? You stepping into some, you know, you've been playing in the band since I joined the band. You've kind of been playing in the band for Rocco. I mean, before you actually got in the band, I think you actually put in over a year in the band, filling in for Rocco. What's it like for you?
Well, I think that's really the thing, that it's the Tower is so unique, you know. It's really its own thing, and for me, it's just something that I've always really related to, you know, having been in the Bay Area so long, and it's just you know, the music is unique. The players are unique, and you know, of course, the past players and the present players are unique, and so you know, it's a special honor to be part of something like that for me, honestly, you know. So that's it.
It's an honor to have you, brother.
No, thank you, Tom. Thank you. Yeah.
Seriously, we're a lucky bunch of guys to go from to lose Rocco is such a sad thing, you know.
Yeah.
And and then to have you come in and just, you know, you're completely doing it. We just, you know.
No, thank you. I mean, it's a unique situation, really. You know, we all know that we've all done a lot of gigs, you know, throughout all the decades we've been doing this. But you know, Tower is its own thing, and it's special. You know, it's really special. So yeah.
Roger, do you have any comment on the question, Tom? Did you hear the question, Tom?
No, this thing was going crazy on me.
Well, the question was, what makes playing in the Tower Power rhythm section a unique thing and different than playing
with anybody else?
Bands? Yeah.
Well, number one, it's as a keyboard player. When this, you know, like when I first heard Chester with the band, already the band had established itself as a different entity, different than anything I'd ever heard. Along comes Chester. For me, playing in Tower Power is not only challenging, no matter how simple the songs are, it's a challenge. And it's a good thing because I've learned how to be much more concise in playing with the rhythm section, you know, making sure that I'm playing with Jerry chordal instruments, for instance, to make sure we're in pocket, because that's so important. Guitar and keyboards, you know, when we can't just go like this all the time. We have to listen to the bass and the drums. That's our foundation. Now, how do we fit in? You know, okay, here's this, but I'm Jerry. I play like this though. You know, I'm not Bruce. I'm not Willie Fulton. I'm Jerry Cortez. You know, I'm definitely not Chester. So how do we come together and do that? That's always, no matter how often we play these tunes, for me personally, it's always a challenge. It's always a challenge, you know, to be the best you can be in this.
Agreed.
Plus the whole rhythmic fabric is often, there's so many tunes that are a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I so miss playing. I don't know if Jerry and Mark, I don't know if you ever got to play the tune Page One.
Oh,
but to me, that's like one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite things to play. My favorite jigsaw puzzles. I just love that tune. To me, that tune is just. It's off a Tower, which Oakland Zone.
Oakland Zone.
Page One.
Yeah. You know, Tommy, I remember as a rhythm section, we rehearsed that. I think we were there 10 days, weren't we? Or something like that, Dave?
Yeah.
And I remember me, Dave, and Rocco and Jeff would go over and over these parts. Every one of those tunes, we literally wrote those rhythm section parts as we went along to find out how in the hell, how do we put that together? You know,
this brings me to a good question. Now, when you guys are writing these tunes and putting those together, how does that all come about? Does Dave just start playing a groove, or do you play something and you? I mean, how does that all work out? Just like you were saying.
Page 1 is Jeff's tune.
I can't remember. I think him and Norbert, or I can't remember.
Jeff had, I think he's one of the writers of that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's, you know, I don't know. Yes, we do. We all share. Dave will have a part, like if he's already studied it or looked at it, or even if it's new, he'll write down what he's playing and what he's hearing. Then he'll share it with us. And, you know, like as rhythm section, trying to find something quarterly, rhythmically.
So
that's the challenge.
That thing grew like a plant in the studio.
Yeah, all of them did, Tom. All those songs. Yeah.
And how does that compare to how you're putting together music today?
Same.
It is.
We don't have the luxury of you know, all the rehearsal that we used to have. So now kind of we put it together in the studio, which is a little more challenging because you don't have the, you know, the benefit of playing the songs live, which we used to do. We used to play the songs live before we'd record them. So you get all kind of the bugs worked out, and you know, but we don't do that anymore, you know. So now we're doing sessions for Tower Power. You know, we go
Pro Tools, baby.
You know, with studio guys, you know, kind of go in and just learn the songs and cut them, you know.
Does that change how the songs end up feeling compared to what it used to?
For me, yes.
But it can be in a good way. I kind of look at it as in a good way because I've been in that situation too, where I you know, worked these songs over and over and over on tours and blah, blah, blah. Then we finally get in the studio and recorded different bands I've been with. And it's like, I can't believe we're recording this one finally. It's like, I'm so sick of this song. For me, doing it the way we've been doing it, there's this like, it's like I'm on a first really good date. You know, I'm like in love with this new song. So that's what I dig about it. It's like fresh and new, and it's exciting for me. So that's kind of how I look at it.
The love boat.
Yeah, the love boat.
You know, and you got to realize too, for a horn player, it's not even a big deal because we have to have a chart and we have to play together as a section to a chart.
Sure.
And you know, that whole process of writing the charts kind of been Dave Eskridge, you know, and Mimi, and I get some input into that. Not a lot of input, but I've had input into the horn parts a little bit. But yeah, but what you guys do, creating the fabric, that's a whole different thing.
Dave does a really good job of putting the arrangement really tight to what the rhythm section does. He does a really good job of that. He struggled with it in the beginning. And
who's this?
Dave Eskridge.
Oh yeah.
You know, and then grew into kind of now where he just knows us and, you know, knows how we play, knows how it all works, and, you know, fits these beautiful arrangements into the fabric of kind of what we're doing, you know.
Agree. Yeah.
So I'm reading the comments. Yeah. All right. So how are you guys feeling? You know, it's 9:30, and Tom and I would just sit and talk forever, but we don't want to keep you guys.
Well, I'm going to be honest. It's been a long day, guys.
Yeah. We'll let you go. And I know it's Jerry's bedtime.
Yeah.
And Dave,
it's an hour later here, so.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And Dave usually plays either dominoes or Yahtzee at this point in the night before he goes to bed, I think.
Yeah, my Yahtzee partner's in there. I'm going to go in a second.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm really glad you guys did this and got together and hung out. And I'm, you know, it was fun. You coming in and out. We got Roger. We finally got Roger tuned in, but that came after Mark. We got Marc in there, and
everything's been working great for the last hour.
It has, and it settled in. We got some good questions. We took a couple of phone calls. It was great.
Yeah, thanks for doing this, you guys.
Yeah, it's just nice to see everybody. It's so nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Thanks for inviting us. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
Wasn't it way more fun than a POP Zoom meeting?
Well, I don't know. I like our Zoom meetings.
I do too. I'm not saying they're bad, but I mean,
this was
well,
this was more fun.
Yeah,
Zoom is cool. Got something.
It was.
But
I
anyway.
mean, we do some fun stuff on Zoom meetings, but it's more about the business and what's coming on and what's happening.
So Jeff, I have a question for you.
Yes.
When can you come down to the winery and we can really look at how best to set this up? Because I'm going to get some cameras and have them up there permanently. So
anytime.
Cool.
Because realistically,
it's not like I have a lot of things to do.
Yeah, man, Jeff can jump in his V8 Mustang in Burbank, and he'll be up to Sac in 3 hours.
I thought he had a van.
We also have a Mustang. He has a Mustang too.
The bank hasn't come to get the Mustang yet. I'm not saying, knocking on some wood. They could come and get it anytime.
There you go.
But anytime, so we can talk after. Yeah. I put together a little outro video to close the show officially with some more Tower of Power music and put everybody's names up and to make it look like this is sort of a professional thing.
Woohoo!
Yeah, it's always good to try to do that.
Yeah, try to look like we're professional.
There you go.
All right. Thanks, guys. I'm going to close it and we'll talk on the other side.
Miss you, my brothers. Miss you all.
Bye, guys.
All right, bye.
Gary, bye.
That's some sneaky funk from back in the day, like we used to play after hours.